The next person I'm bringing up, one of my great friends in the business. Stay standing. I grew up with John Shin, and I'll tell you, one of the most talented, funniest, all-round, well-rounded guys, married, 4 kids, living the dream. But I'll tell you, I knew John before the dream happened. I knew how hard he worked, what he did, and how much he sacrificed. And I'll tell you, he is definitely a blessing at WFG. Please, let's give it up to our good friend and great, great leader, Mr. John Shin.
Introducing Executive Vice Chairman, John Shin.
I love it. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? All right. I've got a few minutes here, and I just wanted to give you a couple nuggets. We are coming down our home stretch, and as we are leaving this event with just a tremendous amount of information and inspiration and motivation, you know, we get back, and it reminds me of the way people, you know, when it comes to New Year's Eve, during Christmas time, during the holidays in December, we begin to write down our New Year's resolution. And one of them that most people like to do is they always say, I want to lose weight. And so they start hitting the gym, right? They go to the 24-hour fitness, they go to whatever, the LA Fitness, wherever your local gyms are, they get there, they do the tour, they get enrolled. Now you're paying $50 for the rest of your life. And like the first couple days, or the first couple weeks in the new year in January, you show up and it's almost impossible to find parking. And because everybody's trying to get their New Year's resolution thing going on, right? But within a month, you go back in February and the parking lot is empty all over again. And that's because people just lack discipline. You today and yesterday and the day before, you hit all these different meetings, you're inspired, you're motivated. Most of you have said, I'm gonna be that person up on that stage next year. I'm gonna be the person who's gonna get promoted to this level or whatever. I'm gonna make this kind of money. Well, that's great, you know, because you're here, you're in this environment. What concerns me is when you leave, what are you really going to do? And I want you to know that you cannot go away, you're gonna go away, but I don't want you to feel like, gosh, stay confused. Like, I don't want you to feel like you don't know what you're supposed to do. I'm gonna tell you what you need to do. When you go back, what you gotta focus on is recruiting. That's it. I mean, some of you go, oh, I want to go do this, I want to go get this license, whatever. No, the name of the game is recruiting. You've got to go and recruit. Now, I know a lot of you in this room are going to say, man, this is like one of those things. You know, it's like, it's all about recruiting. Look, everything is about recruiting. You look at NCAA, right? Sports teams, what are they doing? They're recruiting on high school campuses. When you look at the NFL or any pro team, they're recruiting right now at different college campuses, right? Different church groups are always recruiting. They're all over the place, right? I mean, the military is recruiting. The Girl Scouts are recruiting. The Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, they're recruiting. Corporate America is recruiting. They get headhunters to go and recruit. I don't understand why you are so reluctant to say, I want to recruit people when everybody else recruits. Think about that. Even Jesus was a recruiter. And guess what? Jesus went 12 wide. And look at his hierarchy now. All right. So you got to recruit. 2, you got to follow a system. You got to follow a system. Not any system, the system. The true, pure business format system. That's what you got to follow. Seriously. I watched the movie when I was a young kid, and it reminded me, you know, today it goes, man, if she could do this. Think about this movie. It's called The Wizard of Oz. How many of you guys saw that movie? All right. What was the name of the girl in the movie? What's her name? Dorothy. And what city was she from? Kansas. And she landed somewhere in her house with her little dog named, you have seen it. And where did she land? They landed where? Oz, the land of Oz. In that famous scene where she comes out of the house, she's holding her little dog, and she says, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. And she comes out of the house, and she begins to walk around, and these little people came out, and they were called what? The Munchkins. And they all started coming out. And she says, I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to be with my family. She had a dream. And the first Munchkin came out and said, follow the yellow brick road. And then the other one came out and said, follow the yellow brick road. And then the three twins came out. Remember those guys? They were called the Lollipop Boys. Do you guys remember those? Remember, we are the Lollipop Boys, the Lollipop Boys, the Lollipop Boys. Remember that? Hey. And she followed the yellow brick road, following a system to get to where she wanted to go. And along the way, even Dorothy went 3 wide. She recruited the Tin Man, the Scarecrow, and the Lion, who had no heart, who had no brain, who had no courage, and you're gonna recruit those kinds of people too. And she still got to Oz. Hey, I want you to know that if you follow the system and you go recruit a big fat team, we will see you up on this platform next year. But I want you to know, when you walk out of here and you march back home, you drive home, fly home, whatever it is, I want you to walk in on Monday morning to your job. And I want you to walk in there, and when you see your boss, that day on Monday, you do not walk in with jeans and slippers and, whatever it is, t-shirt. You're gonna wear your best suit. And when you wear your best suit, people are gonna think, whoa, what's up with that guy? He's wearing a suit today. And when you see your boss walking out, I want you to just get out of your little cubicle. I want you to march out into the middle of the hallway. And I want you to look at your boss, and I want you to say, hey! With a little confidence. And your boss is gonna turn around and look at you. He or she's gonna walk over with their clipboard, little pocket protectors. Are you talking to me? And just for a second, hey, you! And when he walks over to you, says, what is your problem? You look at your boss and you say to him or her, what does somebody like me got to do around this joint to go make an extra $150,000 a year part-time? And if your boss looks at you and says, man, I've been here for 25 years, full-time, overtime, and I don't even make $150,000 a year, then I want you to look at your boss and say, well, what are you doing Tuesday night at 7 o'clock?